of all, Macca, from that off-road part of our sport, you come to a road part of the sport like this. Hey, you've been a road man as well. You've got some beautiful road bikes, so feel good to be here today.
Yeah, Neil, this is a fantastic event, seeing all the old bikes out there and the old riders, GP riders and international guys out here doing their thing. But Paul Tracy obviously has put it together with those legends. It's a fantastic event, and it's fantastic to see those guys here.
Great to see. Hey, Mac, with your initiative, and people need to understand that NZ commissioners and board members are volunteers of our sport. And we know it's Volunteers Month in March as well, and people need to be recognised. But, hey, congratulations. The FIM have chosen you to be a representative for the FIM at the World Motocross coming up in Indonesia later this year. So some of your hard work paying off. You've got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, Neil, it was sort of a long process to get involved with the FIM and on the FIM board, Motocross Commission, and yeah, it's got two back-to-back rounds of the World Championship in Indonesia. So I'm representing the FIM on the board there, so it's great. Yeah.
Well done, thank you, Mac. Over to you, Brad. Let's take this race away.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant start from Jacob Stroud, Nick Burke as well off the front row of the grid. He got a good start as they head into turn one. The Pirelli tyres right-hander. And absolutely awesome, this 300 Supersport racing. Some of the tightest racing we get at NZSBK as they run down the back straight and into turn two, the big pack of them. As we catch a look at the number 70 of Jacob Stroud on the Shoesy Racing Team Lizard KTM 390. That's another 390 in there as well. It could be Nathaniel Diprose in there in second place. So what looks like a good start from Nathaniel. Race one winner here yesterday, and they all get through there nice and cleanly. That's the white bike, the BRM Dyno white line Kawasaki Ninja of Blake Ross in fourth place there as well. So that's brilliant stuff from Blake, who got off the second row of the grid pretty clean. And this 300 racing's been absolutely spectacular.
Well, to think that, of course, that racing from New Zealand way back in our post-classic era was dominated by 250s. And where else did Simon Crayford come from? Where did Aaron Slight come from? Grant Ramage, John Hepburn, even, of course, Ian Dawson, our media man here with NZSBK. So 5 legends alone that have been coming out of that. Now, of course, this is advanced to 300s. This is the same class effectively that you see in World Supers as a 300 class. So only a mere 50cc, but the development of these bikes has just been colossal. So great to have this class. And hey, here we are with the likes of a Jacob Stroud and Jesse Stroud in this class. How good is that? What about some of the more pioneering riders like Kevin Goddard? He thinks this is the best class that we've ever got on board a Motorcycle New Zealand. A young gun like Harry Parker, there's a name to look out for. A young man from Timaru who knows how to make it fly. What Harry's missing is the versatility of going to other tracks, and he will learn so much. What about young Derek Kattenberg, a son of our legendary Eddie Kattenberg? So good to see in Tiriana Banks, our ladies in there, and her father Clive in the same race. Well, the stories that we've got in this are fantastic. So 300 Supers have a real place in our sport.
And Nathaniel Diprose crosses the line. He got the job done into the turn 10 sweeper. So Nathaniel Diprose leads him into turn 1. Jacob Stroud on that awesome Team Lizard Racing Honda cars KTM 390. He is in second place. Then we go back to Reece Lindsay, the third of the KTM. So KTM 1, 2 and 3 as we see them down the back straight. And awesome stuff. There we go. Blake Ross is up in there as well. So another good start for him. And Leon Jacobs, he leads the 250 boys. Angus Boyd in there as well. So they've had a good little battle there as well. All through Dave Fellows, another one up there in the mix as well as we see them head into Swampy's Curve. So a great part of the track to be on a 300. This will be an amazing bike to get around Hampton Downs on.
All right, so Leon Jacobs, well, he's been the hot shot of our 250 reduction series and leads the class, but unfortunately had an off yesterday's race, so that allowed young Angus Ross to get on the podium, which we're delighted to interview. So let's go with those guys. They should be on the podium for some good racing. A reminder, folks, 106.8 FM. 106.8 FM, that's a local live radio broadcast. So if you've got your iPhone, you can put your headset in. So wherever you're walking around, you can just keep in touch with what's going on. So fabulous to see. So remember that, 106.8 FM as we go back to the racing. And Brad's got the opportunity to select here on the computer and look at all the different angles. So we're cheating. We're staying in the same spot in the air-conditioned environment of the commentary booth, but an opportunity to see all around the track. Brad.
Yeah, so we've got the update. It is the Shoesy Team Lizard Racing man, Jacob Stroud. He heads into turn 10, but Nathaniel Diprose right in behind him. Dave Fellows up into third place on the R3 Yamaha, and then go back to Blake Ross, the awesome white bike, the white line Kawasaki there of Blake Ross. He is in fourth place. So we watch them as they cross the line. brilliant stuff. This is a 6-lap race, so a decent enough race. And these guys telling me they were doing 180 kilometres an hour as they break into turn 1. So amazing speed on this little 300. So a mixture of single cylinders and twin cylinder machines, but it is Jacob Stroud by 6/100ths of a second as they cross the line.
Yes, in fact, Brad's sort of hinted on it, and I'll just talk about that for a minute, and that is the fact that we've got the KTM 390. We call about it as a 300 class, but it's the single. Of course, the multis that are the 300, like the Kawasaki, and the little Yamaha R3, probably the most dominant bike in the field, that's actually 325cc. So what we've been able to do is get more manufacturers involved. That's the best thing you can do with a motorcycle sport, is to make sure that it's not just one machine dominating the landscape. So great to see. Now, talk about some family involvement before. Our hero, of course, in New Zealand road racing, multi-times champion, man who's won more different classes than anybody else, the great Dennis Charlotte. His lovely wife Angela races on the little 250, and she's out in this class as well. So great to see more of that family inspired. So there it is, Jacob, Nathaniel and young Blake Ross, a graduate of last year's super successful debut of the Ctas Cups, and awesome to have that Suzuki Series back on board this year. And just highlighting the fact that there's an opportunity to go to your Suzuki dealer and talk about getting into the Ctas Cup. They'll align you with Suzuki, and it's not the 599.5 package. In fact, there is ways to do it at cheaper money than that. Man, even when it was being done like that, under $6,000 to have a total race package is unbelievable. These beautiful little Ctas are a great machine. Of course, you can be still used on the streets, on the roads, but on the racetracks at a whole 13 horsepower. You heard it, 13 horsepower. Not 200 horsepower of fine quality racing bikes, but these little bikes. But when you put all the field in the same class, it's great to see. As Brad's been watching out, is it going to be a Jacob Stroud benefit, or has he got to work harder here, Brad?
Yeah, no, Jacob Stroud definitely had the lead as they headed around and up the hill. So you can see the awesome blue fairings there. That's the number 70, the iconic Stroud number 70. He will lead them up the hill, but Nathaniel Diprose gets a good little drag along there. Nathaniel Diprose, he's in second place there, and Blake Ross now up into third with Dave Fallows in fourth. So brilliant stuff. We throw a blanket over the top 5 as we see Dave Fallows going in and looking for a little bit of a move, but not quite close enough. So they head around out of turn 1 and down the back straight, and it is still Jacob Stroud with Nathaniel Diprose right there and pulling out in the slipstream. So look at this. This is going to be where the singles just lack a little bit. The Yamaha Dave Fallows there and the Kawasaki Blake Ross just pulling up alongside, so they're going to be nearly 3 wide as they head into turn 2, and Jacob Stroud just with that inside line has enough with Nathaniel Diprose and Blake Ross with Dave Fallows right there, and that's Reece Lindsay, another KTM 390 in there as well. So a top 5 battle, and these guys will chop and change position with a massive 3 laps to go still in this one. We watch them into Swampy's curve, and Jacob Stroud getting put under a lot of pressure now with the 88 of Nathaniel Diprose on the Gavin Veltmai KTM 390 heading into the double bastard. This tight for top 5 group we watch as there we go, Nathaniel Diprose up the inside into the double B, and I think he might just about have enough. He's side by side, pulls up alongside. Jacob Stroud ends up with the inside line heading into high pull, so no change there, and back to the Jacob Stroud update. But look at this, Dave Fallows is right up there. Here we go, Nathaniel's going to have another look at the inside into the dipper, so hard under brakes, no, not going to be close enough. It is still the 70. Jacob Stroud in the lead as they head out of the dipper and the long little short shoot to turn 10. Nathaniel Diprose right there and behind him. Dave Fallows now up into third with Blake Ross slipping back to fourth, and Reece Lindsay there trying to sneak up the inside but not quite close enough. So that's your top 5 as we see to Nick Burke and Harry Parker 6th and 7th as well. So there's a little update there as they start climbing up the hill, and another run to the line. They'll have 2 to go as they cross the line.
All right, another quick update for you folks. Yes indeed, Legends autographing signing sessions have been moved and no longer over in the pavilion, which was out of the way. They're right here outside the Legends Hall, the Star Insurance Legend Hall. So they are right out here, so an opportunity. You don't have to go too far. You've been milling around the Legends, you've been walking through, you've been talking with them, selfies, photos, the whole lot. It's fantastic. We want to see more of that, and the autograph session is here where the bikes are as well, so you no longer have to go over to the pavilion. So we've brought the mountain to Muhammad, so take an opportunity, folks. And before other people saying didn't know where they were, yes, they were over and out of sight. Now they're going to be right here at the Legends, the epicentre of this great event, thanks to Star Insurance and that special motorcycle package. Remember, when you're talking about motorcycle insurance, Star Insurance are motorcycle specialists, so talk to them, and remembering to say you want a motorcycle package with things like, for example, your bikes that you've got for display purposes, insuring them against the unforeseen, or the fact that you ride a bike on a road, or the fact you're a street or a commuter. Star is specialist motorcycle insurance for your requirements. Just ask them and tell them what you want. They'll suit the package for it. Star Insurance Legends signing on now outside the pavilion.
Yeah, into the double B they go, and back onto the existing circuit. It is still Jacob Strode using all the curb he can and grabbing every little bit of tarmac. Dave Fellows now up into second place as they head into Highpool. So Dave Fellows now is going to run in second place. Nathaniel Diprose been dropped back into third, and then Reese Lindsay, who's now up into fourth, with Blake Ross in fifth. And then we catch the Harry Parker MTF Finance Timaru Yamaha R3 in there as well. So now we've got a full six-way, and even if you put Nick Burke, the Carl Cox Motorsport Yamaha R3 in there, you've got the top 7 guys you could throw a blanket over as Jacob Stroud leads them into turn 10, the Pirelli sweeper, and another climb up the hill with the white flag ready and waiting to go.
Wow, isn't this fantastic? We talked before about the 3 different bikes and the fact that first, second and third are on those 3 different bikes. So there's the advantage or disadvantage, whichever bike you say. Some people say, oh, it's this one for that course, it's that one for this course, or more importantly on a track like this, it's that one for that part of the track, and that's just where the punches come in. I think, Brad, that's going to be a change.
Yeah, no, Jacob Stroud just held the inside line there, so we'll have to wait and see as they head around into Pirelli, the turn 1 right-hander. But they're 3 wide as they head under the laser electrical overbridge, and Jacob Stroud just holding off, but Dave Fellows tucked in behind on the slipstream. You've got Blake Ross in there as well, so there's nothing between them as they run down. You can see the Dave Fellows R3 there has got the inside line, but he's not quite close enough. It's going to be the 70 of Jacob Stroud, followed by the 88 Nathaniel Diprose in second place, and then Dave Fellows now in third, but absolutely nothing in between. This is going to be a great little scrap to the line, and they head through Kev's Carousel and up towards Swampies. It is still Jacob Stroud over Nathaniel Diprose and Dave Fellows. So Dave Fellows, this has been an amazing weekend from the likeable man from Wellington, the Motorrad man on the R3. He's had a great weekend so far. Third place yesterday, and now running with these boys. Nathaniel Diprose loves this tight little left hand of the double bastard. Looks to try and cut inside and head the run into Highpool, but I think it's still going to be Jacob Stroud. They're side by side. There's nothing between them. Absolutely brilliant, but Jacob Stroud's going to be leading them into Highpool, with Dave Fellows now sneaking up into second place. So all on here as they run down into Porsche.
All right, so as they went past the line, in fact, there had been a change. It was Nathaniel Diprose that had made the move. Yes, indeed, a little hot pilot there goes out on the Suzuki 600. He can be a winner on that. We've seen him, of course, a former winner in super light cast racing. Now here he is in the 300 class and mixing up with the guys. This guy's thirsty for some great motorcycling. He's doing it oh so well, but it's all on for the battle. Can he do it? Will it be Jacob? Will it be Dave? Dave Fellows must be one of the riders of the weekend, coming out of nowhere in the wilderness at 300 racing. Let's go all the way to the finish with Brad.
Here we go, up the hill. So Blake Ross just runs wide and makes a little bit of a mess of the last turn, so he's getting swarmed up a little bit. But we have a look. There's nothing in between it. In the slipstream, we've got Jacob Stroud ahead, but Nathaniel Diprose pulling up alongside him. I think it's going to be on the outside of the track, and I think Nathaniel Diprose has got there, so Nathaniel Diprose will take that win. Jacob Stroud manages to hold on to second with Dave Fellows in third, and Harry Parker up into fourth. He was nowhere a lap ago, so that's a great result. Harry Parker fourth, Nick Burke in fifth place, and Blake Ross ends up back in sixth. Reese Lindsay was up into third at one stage of that race, and he manages the seventh. Jesse Stroud in eighth place with Jack Condon ninth, and Hayden Lockhart there in 10th place. So a 1:52.026. That's Blake Ross with the fastest lap of the race.
Wow, that's incredible to think that he's finished overall outside of the top 3. Yet here he is with an opportunity to go bang and take a best lap time. So great to see from young Blake. And of course, new kid on the block as well, courtesy of White Line Motorcycles out of the Hauraki capital of Pyro, with another great effort, and a graduate from the Jixer Cup debuting last year. This man making it happen in New Zealand road racing. So well done to Nathaniel, Jacob, Dave, Harry, Nick, Blake. There you go, a guy in 6th place, and he ends up with the best time of the race, telling you just how cool that pack was out there. We were hard to pick it up as to who was taking what place, and in fact Nathaniel led with the white flag and he won the race, but during that time he'd slipped to second, he'd gone to third, he got back to second to get back to first. That's how much excitement was going out there. What a race it is indeed, our 300 class. Part of the excitement with Resine Automotive and Light Industrial, the two worlds renowned for quality paint brands all coming together. So quality coatings, whether it be Resine Automotive or your industrial coatings, you'll find it from spray painting, masking tapes, machinery, safety gear, and all the good old-fashioned New Zealand service. There is only one, remembering the name, Resine Automotive.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from 300s. That's some of my favourite racing. And the top 7 all separated by just on a second. So absolutely breathtaking stuff with your top 7 riders all just within a second of each other. And 2/100ths of a second the gap as they cross the line. But a deserved winner, Nathaniel Diprose on the 88. So that's brilliant stuff from him to go with his win yesterday. That's 2 wins in a row on the Gavin Veltmeyer prepared Coleman's. Brilliant little KTM 390 for Pirelli tyres and Sabaki chains there in there, so absolutely outstanding. The 88 on the bike, and Nathaniel Diprose. Neil's just going to run down the stairs and see if he can catch up with Nathaniel, but what a breathtaking run from the Supersport 300, and then the 250s as well. We kind of got a bit lost in there and haven't really mentioned the 250s, but Angus Boyd managed to get up there, and that was a 0.4 of a second as they crossed the line. So Angus Boyd gets another win, and Leon Jacobs in second place there with Phil Lowe and Angela Charlotte third and fourth, and Derek Hattenberg there in fifth. So the 250 production class running inside the Supersport 300 class, and some awesome racing. And they get a 10-lapper for their TT later on, so imagine the awesome spectacle that's going to be, Phil.
Yeah, that's going to be something else. I mentioned before, not a sprint, but a marathon for the TT. And so it should be, because it's a very prestigious title to win. Hey, look, I was just walking around outside. Boy, there's a lot of people out behind race control at the moment. And you heard Neil say that they've moved the location for the signing session for the Legends. It'll now be at the Star Insurance's Legends Garage. That's where the signing sessions will happen. And that's where, probably not during the signing session, but afterwards, you can work your timing out on that. You can get a photo with the legend. The Mike Perra Motor Fest encompasses all things motorbike. Kiwi MotoGP star Simon Crafer is here, Christopher Milden is here, Steve Parrish is here, Aaron Slide is here, Graham Crosby, Levi Sherwood. The list goes on and on and on. Well, you can get a photo with them, courtesy of Star. They will mount your photo in a little presentation folder. They'll print it on the spot in HD quality, and you've got a lasting souvenir of your time here at the Legend. Oh, look at that. Chris has got one with Aaron Slide. What a great photo. And Aaron's signed it as well. And that's the completion of the task, isn't it? You get the photo, and then you get your Legend to sign it as well.
Well, speaking of Legends of the future we've got here now will be Nathaniel. Nathaniel, how's it winning here today? What is it? Is it Hampton Downs for you? Is it the right preparation? Your body's 100%? Congratulations, you're going well.
Thanks very much. Speaking of preparation and body, I've probably had the least I have for any season due to being off through injury, first round back. But yeah, Hampton today has been really good. The weather's been perfect this weekend, and it's been great riding out there.
Man, that is just a wicked performance. Tell us about the difference in the bike. Is it sort of, I suppose, you preferred the 600 because it's got more power, they're a bit faster, but hey, you're doing so many of them. A lot of people, once they've gone 600, they turn their back on those little fellas that help to get them on the journey, but you still like going back to the little bikes.
Yeah, I love the little bikes. I still race the buckets, the 50s and 80s, and loving the 300. Yeah, just the smaller bikes make it much more about the corner speed and linking all the corners together, and I really like, doing that.
Hey, we watched the fact that you led on the white flag, you won in the end, but during that last lap you drifted back to third. Sounds like a bad story, doesn't it? But you still got back there. What was the secret? And with the other guys, did they have a bit more legs on you on the straight and you were able to out-corner them? That's what it looked like. Was that the story?
Yeah, well, throughout the race, I was right behind Jacob and tried a couple of passes on him, but he would get me straight back, so I figured I'd just try sit there and try something on the last lap. But then, yeah, Dale made an interesting mixing it up and getting past on the last lap, dropping back to third. I thought, might not be able to get by him anymore, but I tried and made it just.
Hey, well done. Congratulations. Hope to see you back on the podium. Go for the TTs later this afternoon.
Yeah, will do. Thanks.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Great to see. Well done. Here. Nice one. Angus Ross. Start the chant, folks. Start the chant. This man, no fluke yesterday. No fluke at all. He got on the podium. The first thing he said is, I'm only here because Leon fell off. Leon did not fall off that time, Angus. You got here because of your good work. I think you've been the best performed South Islander here this weekend as well. How's it feeling?
Oh, that felt good, that one, definitely, yeah. I had to work so hard. I had such a crap start, but yeah, I really put my head down and just pushed so hard to catch him. I could see him. I was like, come on, and I got there.
Welcome relief. Hey, tell us about the work with all of those 300s. I think that's what's being sort of underestimated so much in this. You guys are on that smaller bike and amongst those bikes. Are they a help or are they politely a hindrance? How do you feel about having those big guys around you?
Oh, it's hard work. You have to work so hard in the corners to get past them, because the straight line speed is just so much more than we have on the old 250s. So, but sometimes it's helpful with slipstream, especially going up the hill. So yeah, it's 50-50.
All right, can you do that again for the TT? Have you found the secret already?
I hope so, yeah. I'm working really hard in the gym over the break, so definitely got the fitness there, so I hope I can just perform.
Well done, Angus. A few good people behind you.
Yeah, big thanks to Charlton Hull Drainage, Race Supplies, and Steve Rutherford Fairings, and also Dad for carting me up and down the country, doing everything for me. And also thanks to my uncle for coming all the way up from Christchurch to come help out and watch me race this weekend.
There you go. They're about to shout it. Let's hear it, Angus. Ross, well done, Angus. Great result. Hey, here we go again, folks. Not too far away from some of our people going for a ride. Now, I had the privilege of just walking into the room before, and all these people that are going for a ride had an opportunity to actually have an instruction on what to do and how to ride out there. So they've linked all of that together. So it's not just a matter of being here.